Homies, welcome back, WYRMGANG. Whew, got some good news for you guys. Was able to pick up a Ryu-GE engine and test that out Sunday at locals at WinX1. That went pretty cool. I'm actually pretty surprised and happy to go ahead and admit that you don't need any hand traps to play this game anymore. You just need all gas. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get into that. The matchups were as 2-0 the bye. We're just going to say that your belt sucks. Round 2 was versus an insect pile that was piloted by my homie Chino, who's actually the Splight player from YCS Anaheim feature match, and that's like deadass the first time I've ever beaten the dude in a tourney, so I'm very happy and proud of that. Round 3 was versus Fiendsmith as a Mania Chimera. Lost out on that one. Grind was pretty hard. And Cosmic in Time wasn't going to help, versus the Link one Fiendsmith, which was cool, but, I lost 1,000 life. And then round 4 versus Malice. One die roll. That one was probably the spiciest because I ran through triple hand trap, got double impermed and a Druid's Wyrm, and then proceeded to make a Baxia shuffle away the Druid's Wyrm, and dude just scooped. Game 2, I wasn't able to play because Member Griffith was in the middle, so I just had to scoop. There was no point Book of Eclipse or anything like that. Need a Dark Ruler. I didn't have it, or a Kaiju. And then game 3, I took the Multi challenge and gave the dude like 8-9 cards, but was able to make Varudris as 4th summon, proceeded to grab Protoss out the field spell, summoned him. I guess he was thinking about an Imperm in hand, but it was already backed up by Varudris. The Protoss resolved, popped Varudris, nerfed him for his turn, and then since I popped my own card, I was able to trigger the Sosei, the ritual one, Pendulum, in the extra deck and summon itself, and then pop stuff in place 3, so that was just redundantly cool as hell. Extra interruptions on my opponent's turn, on top of flood getting them, was nice. MVPs are Chichao into Varudris before playing, or vice versa, is actually pretty cool. The decks completely bridge into each other. I'll get into that later. Right now we're just going to go over the ratios and stuff and why I play all these. Yeah, without further ado, let's get into that. So, go over these things engine by engine, I guess. Since I played like 5 engines. I'm going to start off with 3 Motorbike. These cards are level 2 tuners that you can pitch to search for Wakaushi, which is the main combo starter. So you have like 6 starters for your super heavy combo line. And this thing is also basically a Wakaushi because it can double its own level as well. So that's really cool. From there we have, and it's a level 2, so it can be brought back from the graveyard via Baxia. So there's a lot of utility with this. Same with Wakaushi. I love this card. It's amazing. You can use it to grab your scale 1, or your level 1, and place it, special it, and then go into your full Denglong combo without any normal summon, allowing you to search out the Sawani, which is the Fire Yang Zing, normal summon that as your 4th summon, synchro into Chao Feng as your 5th summon, turning off, not even turning off, but preventing your opponent from activating any of your their light or fire effects, so that will just turn off Ryzeal, and then from there you can just grab Protoss and call Darks for Malice. So this deck has a really, really good matchup versus the best decks. Here's one requirement for that engine, the Big Monk Menkei, so you can search your Soul Horns, and then from there go on into your Wyrm combos with Denglong. So that's the super heavy engine. Next, we're going to get into our Yang Zings. So we played, let's explain these all. Zephyr Nu is a level 6 Yang Zing. There's also a scale, and it's able to be floated out via the Denglong when he dies. So sometimes you can search your 9 pillars, which is your counter trap, and then you can synchro with your Denglong and float this guy out so that you have an extra interruption, which is actually pretty cool. And on top of that, it's level 6, so you can synchro with, your level 4 tuners, or this dude who's a level 2 tuner and can also be floated out of the deck. or searched. There's all types of ways to get to these cards. These are just extra extenders, I guess you can say, for Danglong. And Suwani is how you make the Chao Feng for your 5th summon, turning off their lights and fires. I mean, in certain instances, I guess you can also just make Chao Feng for dark with this and just, you know, prevent your opponent from activating any darks on Malice and stuff like that. So I guess I should have thought that one through, and it just doesn't come up enough for me. I feel like Protoss is just a lot better all around. And one counter trap, because this is the best counter trap in the game, since it says when your opponent activates a spell, trap, or monster effect, you can, if you control a Yang Zing card face up, so even scale, remember this, you can negate the activation if you do shuffle that card into the deck. So it's most MVP turn 1, since your opponent will have 5 to 6 cards, depending on if they hand trap you, and then whatever engine they have. Like, this is really key to hit a Fiendsmith Engraver when they pitch to search, and you can negate. And instead of Engraver hitting the graveyard, you're going to go ahead and shuffle that back into the deck and just say, go ahead and fetch it again. Fetch it again, motherfucker, because we're not doing this shit. So that's really hot. Also, outs anything. I mean, extra deck monsters go back in there, so I love this card. Next, we're going to go into the Swordsoul engine, which is very basic. I was going to cut down on Ecclesia for 2, and I'll explain that right now in a second, coming up for the other engines. It's much better going second, and it's just decent going first. Getting ashed, you just -1. It just sucks so much. You would rather just get impermed on your Moe, and then from there you can just do other stuff, you know what I mean? Because you still have a body on board. So 3 Moes, nothing else to explain on these. It's just a really good card. The best card, I guess. Tai, 1 Tai is all you need, since it's more of a pendulum-ish board deck, and you really only need 1. You can get it back so many ways. We play the Swordsoul Monster Reborn, 2 Baxias, Shaman. There's lots of ways to just recycle them. 1 Long Yuan for the same reasons. You don't want to brick on this. This card actually sucks since we lost Barone, and there's no reason to play 3 of these whatsoever. I mean, unless you're playing that weird Ice Barrier package with the Trishula stuff, which is really cool, but bricky at the same time. So keeping it simple and short and sweet to the point, you know what I mean? We just wanted to draw good cards and just turbo. From there, we're going to go into the 3 Emergence, our Rhodas, and 1 Monster Reborn, the Summit, MVP ass card. I use this a lot of the times to make a Varudras anyways, if you don't immediately exceed and you do the Ryu-GE combo, popping D2 and yada yada, since you can reborn your level 10, and then if you use Tai to dump another monster, the water level 10 can bring itself back from the graveyard, allowing you to make Varudras after. So that's pretty dope. And then in grind games, it comes up a lot too. And at Swordsoul Blackout, very clutch. And Protoss, since he's honorary Swordsoul, and just you need him this format and every format. Like, this dude's legit, just cooks a lot of decks. Next, we have a small Tenyi engine. Very small, since we still needed graveyard presence to apply pressure, since we don't have Engraver and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So this is our grind game right here. This is a 3 Ashinas, only 1 Bashuda. You don't want to open it. You only want to special it from the deck, or, you know what I mean, get to it other ways. 1 Chitana, cards clutch as hell, very, very much so, allowing you to make 8s, 10s, all types of other things. It's really, and Danglong as well. Pretty dope. 1 at Hara, because, I mean, 2 at Haras, because making Danglong is key. The dude has too many effects for your opponent's hand traps to actually, like, do anything. On Summon Surge, they'll ash it if they imperm it. You're still allowed to Foolish for cost, and a lot of the times your opponent's gonna hesitate and say, damn, like, yeah, go ahead, I guess, you know what I mean? It's Foolish for cost. And then from there you can extend, since you're able to dump any of these guys, and your level 4s to Monster Reborn. Like, it's really good. And then from there you can link off your Danglong and another body into Shaman, float out another body, and it's just, it continues, you know what I mean? You can continue to snowball. This is a lot like the U-Bell Fiendsmith stuff, where you just, all the engines can just grind and float into each other, and that's really, really hot right now. The 2 spells, you play the Tenyi Affinity and 1 Dragon Circle. No, I don't have the level 4, like, $20 card or $10 card or whatever. I'll be picking it up this week and testing with it. I'm only going to use one copy, actually. It's really good, but you would rather, I believe, summon from the deck or just search it out. I don't really want to open multiple copies of that card, per se, in this build. But these cards are amazing. This thing lets you go second hard. You can pop a card as well, triggering your Sosei in the extra. Nobody reads that thing. It says tribute to Wyrm, and then pop a card. One monster your opponent controls, or one monster on the field, even your own. So that's dope. And then your Dragon Circle, which is used so many ways to grab Protos, grab Long Yuan. You can tribute your Denglong when they impermit, and you +3 since you'll be searching 2 and summoning 1 from the deck. This card is just really good. I'm thinking about bumping this up since everybody's on so many hand traps. But testing out locals and topping there without any hand traps kind of proves you also don't need an extra 2 copies. So I don't know how I feel about that yet. But these are hot. I love them. Can't take them away. And onto the very heavy Ryu-GE engine that I played. That, man, I was able to do so much with this shit. I'm not gonna lie. Jammed in 21 card starters into the entire deck altogether with the super heavies and 3 emergence. So the 3 new cards that I used that were clutch as hell was 3 Senjus. I think my opponent ashed only 1 of these, and that was around game 3 or something like that, after they found out exactly what this does. Just fetch this guy in full combo. But the card's insane. It's gonna cost you a normal summon, but you can full combo into your Swordsoul line afterwards, which is not an issue whatsoever. And opening this and this means you can play through 2 or 3 hand traps, since you can special link into the monk normal, and then if you get this, you can super go ham, and if not, then you can banish your Ashuna, summon an Ihara, and use him plus this to go into a Denglong and proceed to combo that way. So that's really dope. I love this card. I actually want to pick up some alternate arts or some super rares, hopefully. Like, this is really cool coming from a Dino player like myself, because I'm a Yu-Gi boomer, you know what I mean? And being able to play this card, which I think was like 2003 or something like that, 2002, in this format makes me happy, you know what I mean? So I'm not gonna lie. From there, we played the 3 turbo god card Misva, because this dude is awesome. Allows you to get into your Swordsoul line, play on your opponent's turn as well. You don't even have to summon him on your turn. You can just set up the Varudras, and then when your Varudras pops a card on your opponent's turn, triggering him to summon from the extra deck. You can even pop your own card in the extra deck, like I did. I've popped my own monk with my Varudras after negating a card, triggering him to summon, and then since Monk was killed, you can special summon back Shitana, pop another monster, and then place your other scales after popping cards with this. There's so many ways to play that your opponent just doesn't see coming, and that's kind of what allowed me to put so much pressure, because they thought they were able to read the board and, you know, count the interruptions, and then boom, here's another 3, or here's another 4. It was actually really good. I played 2 of the red, 2 of the blue, 2 of the green, because you do not want to brick ever. I've seen a lot of people play 1-1-1 or like 2-2-2-1 and then put this back to hopefully not brick. I found that to be cool, but in testing at home, it never worked out when I drew a hand that I couldn't play with. So I would rather do this to never brick, and your opponent will never see you they'll never expect you to activate and resolve another field spell. You know what I mean, in a grind game, and right there you can just kill him, because that's the second time that you can summon 3/3/3 and just punch on turn 3, and that's just sorry for them, you know what I mean? Fathomer for the Swordsoul combo, you have to play this so that you can full combo without a normal summon. That's pretty cool. And then 3 Ryu-GE Rising, which is also 1 card starters, 3 Warzone, which is also 1 card starters. Everybody's playing like 2 or 1. I'm gonna go ahead and play 3, because like I said, I want to resolve as much as possible in these games and see it, and if not, get to it. So here's the 1-1-1. This one makes your level 10s the Dino or the Pendulum a Chichao, so that's pretty cool. This is Compulse, that's pretty dope, and this now matters more than ever since Mitsurugi is like the best deck, and if they don't have a graveyard, they're kind of cooked. So yeah, D-Fissure on your opponent's turn is gonna be very hot, and helped me a lot actually. Every matchup I was able to use it and apply pressure. On top of that, I'm gonna be using Set Rotation and Terraforming as extra 1 card starters, because you can use Ritual Sanctuary. I had my wife sign it actually. This card here Says you can discard a spell card and add 1 light ritual monster or 1 ritual spell from your deck to your hand. So you're going to be pitching a spell to go ahead and add your Mistva from your deck to your hand, and then proceed the combo right there. So that's what these are all for. Really good extra ways to get to your blue guy. That's what I needed. And then Chicken Game, which is Upstart Goblin, and then on top of being Upstart Goblin, you can pay 1,000 to destroy itself, which I used to trigger him in the extra deck. So yeah, this can probably be swapped out into something else, anything else, honestly. I'm not sure what yet, but it worked out. It worked out in the end. I mean, gave you an extra card and triggered stuff on when I needed it to. So that's 60 cards, no hand traps at all, 2 traps. That shit was gas, bro. That's all I gotta say, guys. Moving on to the extra deck. I played 1 Lord and Savior Danglong. I'm not sure if I would ever play more than 1, possibly 2. The dude comes up clutch, but you recycle him so much with that Hara and stuff. I don't believe you need to. 1 Yazi, because you need him going second, and he's just MVP. He gets rid of floodgates, beats over a Fenrir and stuff, and then you can pop something else in the back row and apply pressure and play. You need him. You just always need him. Never cut him. 2 Baxias. Sometimes you need 1 going first to combo. You're always going to need 1 going second to help OTK. These guys are awesome. Being able to loop them when you use 1 synchro for 10. If you can make a shaman after, bring it back, make another 10. It's even better. Mula Hara, here's 1 of your bridges that lets you go and fetch your Ryu-GE field spell. And he can also be used to apply a lot of OTK pressure. I used him once to kill. If you have a monk or any vanilla up, he cannot be targeted or destroyed by your opponent's card effects, and he can swing twice. So that's dope on top of being our own Ancient Fairy Dragon. 1 Berserker, or I don't even know why I actually have this. I never summoned it, but in theory, he's kind of like the Synchro Boros Sword, so you always need him in a simplified game state to just go ahead and kill. So you can't cut him neither. And then you can always Eradicator him. He's 3,000 and dark. We have 2 Chichao, since you always need 2. People are playing Unicorn stuff. 1 Chao Fang, the MVP God card. Man, being able to just turn off lights and fires on 5th summon is the best thing to happen in this game, I guess, for this deck. This is WYRMGANG TCG the deck, so I mean, it has to be Nib Imperm to cook. Has to be Nib Imperm. If not, you're skunked. Sorry, buddy. 1 Cheng-Ying. You don't need more than that. Nothing else to explain on this dude. Other than the field spell triggers him too, which is actually gangster. You know what I mean? You banish your own card while you're trying to, while you +1, and then your opponent negs 2, and then you're gonna combo. So that's sick as hell. Sinister, the best thing in time. Honestly, I won one of my matches in time because Long Yuan into this pass. Varudris, man, I am so happy about this card, and I was able to pick him up. He is Baron 2.0 that can actually be used with Blackout and triggers your Sosei all the time. The best card right here. I love him. 2 Monks, since you need 2 in a grind game if you get there. And that's just about it. It is a vanilla, whatever you say. I mean, here's a shaman that we have used consistently so that you can bring back anything from your graveyard, combo some bit harder, and Protoss for fires if you need be. You know what I mean? Versus Fire King or anything like that. I've done that once. Yeah, exactly. Online. So it still comes up. Somebody's playing some fire trash. But yeah, the entire extra deck's all 15. We're going ham. It's Wyrm Pop Baby, WYRMGANG. And then we're going to go into the random side deck. You guys are going to laugh your asses off. I did not expect to play any of these. Neither. I showed up to locals hella late, which is why I just... Not hella late, but I mean hella last minute. So laugh at this, if you will. I played 1 Dweller because, in theory, I thought, yeah, Mitsurugi Ryzeal was going to be the best deck, and it is. So I wanted to be able to use this if I got debarriered, and that was just going to suck, so I'd rather pass on this. Since you can still use the field spell, and you'll be locked into Wyrm, Dinosaur, and Sea Serpent, and just, you can pass on this, honestly, with, you know, like, Wakaushi and any level 4. Same theory came up with these guys. I wanted to OTK. So I, was more than certain you can activate your Wakaushi, place it up, special it. Your opponent's going to go ahead and ash your Big Ben, and then you're going to summon Moe, and then now get impermed, and then you go ahead and OTK with this. So that was the theory in there, and it actually never came up. None of these 4 cards came up, so I'm just dropping them like hot water. I don't know why the hell. I do know why. I was hella high. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we're not going to go with that anymore. Anyways, the cards that did work are right here. Doggeron, Kaiju, since it's searchable via the field spell. So you only need 1. 3 Dark Rulers, because they actually work. And I guess this is supposed to be an Agave Dragon, so you can allow your opponent to full combo. Let them take as much time as they want. Please just let them. And then you can Dark Ruler, and then take as much time as you want to combo and just be as much of a scumbag as they want to be. And then proceed to make Agave Dragon, since it says you gain 400 life for each worm in your graveyard. And they're going to be so mad because, oh, you can't do any damage. And we're not here to do damage. We're here to win, all right? Win. Gain 400 life for each one and say, screw you, pass. So that's the theory for that. 2 Eclipse. I used these because I wanted to get over big boards and Ryzeal and stuff. But I found that it was really crap versus Malice. Also, it's duality, since you can use it going first and second. You can actually just set it, or you can use it against Nibiru and just set your own monsters and then flip them back up at the end of the turn. Who cares if they drew it? Your opponent's not going to be able to, play versus all the stuff that you usually put up with this deck. 2 Cosmics, which were actually clutch as hell. I wanted to use these for Fiendsmith's crap, the Link 1, and what do you call it? I guess just back row in general. I didn't want to lose the floodgates, even though nobody's on them, but I just accept me. You know what I'm saying? But I really like this card, and I didn't want to lose out to anti-spell, basically, so I did lose in time because of it. I'm probably going to swap that out to something else. Fingertop's probably a lot better. Played 3 floodgates. They cooked on Rivalry, since we're playing just worms. Skill Drain, since we're just playing Beatdown. And Anti-Spell, since we're going to full combo, and I don't want nobody to break this board with everybody's spell card board breakers, and nobody's on, like, Sphere Mode and Lava Golem, and the only way we're going to lose is to the back row, and here we are. So, that's about it. That's all I had. This shit's fun as hell. It actually works. It's all about sequencing, you know what I mean? You're always going to want to activate your super heavy cards before anything else. I hope you guys enjoyed my explanations for all these ratios and everything I used. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and drop them out in the comments. Let me know what you guys thought. Hope you guys enjoyed this, rather, and saw that you guys do not need hand traps to play. You can just play all gas and start cooking, because once you're able to pass 3 hand traps and make a board, the opponent just scoops. That's too much pressure. What are you gonna play with? What, you're 3 cards versus 6, 7 plus my hand? Nah, bro. Have a good one, dudes.